Hello and welcome into Pat's Latest. I'm your host, Mike Gambardella, and the Patriots continue to ride high after a season-altering win up at Buffalo. And that doesn't mean that things completely change, but perhaps perceptions do. We continue to give kudos to that Patriots defense that really led the charge against Josh Allen and co. with the injury to Antonio Gibson, what the Pats are doing in their backfield, what the power rankings hold for the Patriots, including Tom Brady's prognostication, and an early look at a potential trap game against the New Orleans Saints. Before we get into it, make sure you go down and subscribe for our channel. Get in the comments and let us know what you think about the Pats' ascent to the top half of the NFL. Do they belong there, and what does the future hold? Make sure you give us that like and go back and check out our old episodes after this one. We start by looking at that defensive unit that has done something that the Pats have never done in their history. Yes, a franchise first for the New England Patriots, as they currently are the only team in the NFL this season to have not allowed a 50-yard rushing game from a running back through the first 5 games. Yes, that front seven has been a staunch defensive unit for head coach Mike Vrabel, and we knew that Milton Williams and Christian Barmore could be a force in the middle, but it has been the linebackers and the edge setters for that as well. Shutting guys down like James Cook and continuing to do it, and it won't get any easier with Alvin Kamara coming up as well, even though we'll get into he does have that injury he's working his way through. But the Patriots shutting down the ground game means that teams have to throw to move the ball against them. And with Christian Gonzalez back in the fold, it makes it even that much more difficult for opponents now. Josh Allen found that out firsthand on Sunday night. And again, the Patriots doing this, being that first team in franchise history to do that, again, it is unprecedented, and you must tip the cap to Mike Vrabel and co. But again, just 5 games in doesn't tell you everything you need to know. It tells you that a team that was predicted to be in the bottom 10 in the NFL is quickly surpassing those expectations. It still means this is a young team finding out their way and their culture, but it does mean they are trending in the right direction. Unfortunately, that does mean that there are injuries that will take effect, and it is affecting the offensive backfield already. With Antonio Gibson going down with that torn ACL, the Patriots have a huge hole in their backfield with only 3 running backs usually on the 53-man roster. Ramondre Stevenson continues to have his fumbling issues, and while Mike Vrabel continues to give faith in him and allowing him to work through those issues, Travion Henderson, the second-round rookie, continues to bark at his heels. While a lot of media members and everyone else would like to see more of him, I think the Patriots are doing the right thing by not forcing him into the fold fully quite yet. However, that does mean there needs to be additional running backs added, and that's why the Patriots did sign Joshua Corbin, the 5'11", 250-pound running back, to their practice squad, who has time both on the Panthers and Falcons, and actually last played for the San Antonio Brahmas of the UFL, and actually led the league with 514 rushing yards on 97 carries, throwing on 4 touchdowns for good measure. And when you can add a Florida State alum, never a bad thing either. Now, the 25-year-old adds to the depth for the Patriots. He will go to the practice squad, and that means Terrell Jennings actually gets the call up from the PS and likely will be the 3rd running back in New Orleans on Sunday. Again, that's not the same as having Antonio Gibson there, and it will be interesting to see if the Patriots actually add to the depth again. But as the stands right now, Travion Henderson is in line for a lot more work, and those who have been clamoring to see it are finally going to get their wish. Now, whether he can live up to that demand, yet to be seen, but again, as a second-round rookie, hopefully he can live up to that billing. Billing kind of fits in with it because there have been a lot of, checks cashed for the Patriots in going high to low and vice versa. Now entering a top 20 for ESPN, but not so fast because they actually had them at 21, where CBS ranks them at 13 overall in the NFL. Is that too high? I think the short answer, yes, way too high for a team that, again, yes, did beat the number 2 or 3 team in the NFL based on where you have it, But looking at others, the NFL puts them at 18, The Athletic 17, Bleacher Report 19, Yahoo Sports 16, USA Today 15, all going up between 5 and 7 spots. And I think at the end of the day, you can easily say that the Patriots are top 20, and putting teams like Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Baltimore, and Kansas City obviously on a huge slides down, but you don't want to dock them that much for early season struggles. Same way that you don't want to give too much for the Patriots for a few early wins. Chicago, Dallas, and Houston also nipping at the heels of the Patriots, if you would say 19, 20, and 21 as well. So you could say why you could see ESPN ranking them a little bit lower. For CBS to put them at 13, you're now saying teams like Denver, Jacksonville, the Chargers, the Rams are suddenly falling behind the Patriots seems a little premature for that. But again, I think it's good to see that people are taking note, people respect what Mike Vrabel has done and the early jumps that Drake May has made as well. And that's what they will need heading into New Orleans this Sunday. Now, again, we've looked at the schedule saying that there could be a win streak here for the Patriots. They did knock off the Panthers, you knocked off the Bills, and now looking at the Saints, Titans, Browns, and Falcons coming up, those are all winnable games. And now you're saying there's potentially a 6-game win streak looking you at the face. But that means you have to go into New Orleans, a place that is notoriously tough to play because of those fans making things very loud in there. Spencer Rattler suddenly showing that he can be a starting quarterback in this league with the win over the Giants last week. And overall, that team did look better. Whether it's a home game or not, that defense for the Saints is looking good. And what they need with head coach Kellen Moore in his first year, trying to work his magic with the offense, he's going to lean on that defense. And now that they've seen what the Patriots want to try out there, trying to connect May with Diggs and force the run game as well, the path forward is there. Now, additionally, looking at the offensive weapons for the Saints, while they may be aged in Kamara, Olave, Hill, Juwan Johnson, and of course, old friend Brandon Cooks out there, there are multiple options for them. So while this will be a +3 to 5 game for the Patriots, I think it could be a trap game because you're riding so high off of a win over the Buffalo Bills in division. The conference record has been good for the Pats as well. Going over to the NFC, everything stacks up for this to be a short-sighted game. Hopefully, Mike Vrabel continues to have his team where they have been all season, and that's with their eye on the ball, and they can go into New Orleans, get a win that they should have, and keep things rolling forward. But should you take your eye off for just a second, it can spell disaster for a young team that cannot afford any slip-ups moving forward. That'll do it for us here on this episode of Pat's Latest. Again, make sure you go down, subscribe for the channel to get all the latest Patriots news to your inbox as it comes out. Get in the comments, let us know what you think about the Patriots defense, what they need to do in the offensive backfield, where they should rank in the power rankings, and if it is indeed a trap game against the Saints. Make sure you give us that like and go back and check out all of our episodes right now so you know exactly what's going on with your Pats. We'll continue to have it all for you right here. Fight on, Foxborough.